If you're in the military and you're between the ranks of E1 and E5, your April 15th paycheck was probably higher than normal. That's because now the DoD finally implemented the remainder of the total 14.5% pay increase that all junior enlisted were supposed to receive starting on January 1st of this year. Initially, it was only reserved between E1 and E4, but halfway through the signing process of that bill, they also included sergeants, which are E5. So that means E5 and below saw a total pay increase of 14.5%, which is the largest pay increase in DoD history, which is great, by the way. I'm for this. I think it's warranted and I think it's great. But in January, the 4.5% increase happened. Now, on April 1st, which now your April 15th paychecks will reflect, that's when that additional 10% pay bump just came into effect, and it will remain throughout your time in service and obviously go up yearly and go up as you get promoted. But this is huge because a lot of people, when they're considering joining the military or not, money factors into this in a big way. They're like, well, when I look at the pay chart, it doesn't seem like a lot. I'm not getting paid a lot and whatnot. And it's like, when you look at just the number, sure, it could seem like you're not getting paid a lot. But what people are forgetting is all the entitlements and all the things that come along with being in the military. Your pay is straight money in your pocket. I'm not taking out rent. I'm not taking out utilities. I'm not taking out water. I'm not taking out food. I'm not taking out clothing because your housing, right? Your barracks room is provided if you're single, or you get a housing stipend for those who are married. So your living is 100% covered. Your food is covered. If you're in the barracks, you get a meal card. You eat at the chow hall 3 times a day for free or more if those chow halls are open. Your food is taken care of. Also, if you're married, you get a food allowance basically. Is it always enough? No, but it definitely offsets the total cost of food. Next, your clothing. You get a annual clothing allowance of like $550 or something like that. Now, is that enough to buy a year's worth of clothes? For some Marines, absolutely. For others, no. But again, your pay is getting offset tremendously by all the savings that you are getting. And people don't realize that. So I'm like, hey man, here's $2,500 take home. Everything else is covered, man. This is like blow money. You can spend it on whatever, do whatever with it and whatnot. And most Marines, they have a car payment, they have insurance, gas, okay, cool, a cell phone bill, got it, and internet. And if you're smart about it, you split with your roommate and you guys go 50-50. There's like 5 main things you got to spend money on, unless you're not, unless you're buying some super expensive car and blowing all your money, which some Marines do. Don't do that. But most don't. You have a lot of money left over to save, to spend, to blow. It's for you. You're not paying rent, which here in California, the average rent cost is like $2,000+ for a small apartment. Let's not even get started. That's on the low end, which means all your money's gone. You got nothing to use. So again, perspective wise, we get paid pretty well. But now we just got another 10% increase. So I'm going to go over some of the big highlights and some of the big pay increases so you guys know. So when you're looking at your chart, instead of saying, hey, I got paid too much, actually knowing that it's supposed to be there. So for E5, right, we'll start at the top, work our way down. Sergeants, you guys just got a $219 a month pay increase, which is not bad. An extra $200 and almost $20 a month, not bad. Corporals, you guys got a $275 a month pay increase starting April 15th. Lance Corporal, so E3, $248. E2, right? PFCs, $236. And then privates, your E1s, a $210 raise. So between the ranks of E1 and E5, there's over a $200 a month pay increase. And that's just by serving. You did nothing different in the Marine Corps, in the Army, in the Navy, whatever. You did nothing different. You just got a pay increase. So again, you're getting paid even more now than you were before. And again, what I talked about in the past, it's still appropriate. So in E1 right now, with less than 2 years, all right, so this is going off less than 2 years in service, you're going to make $2,319 a month. And E2, which is a PFC, is going to make $2,599, so let's say $2,600 a month. And E3 is going to make $2,733 a month. And E4 is going to make $3,027 a month. And an E5 is going to make $3,220 a month, and that's 2 years or less. Obviously, as you spend more time in the rank, more time in service, wartime and grade, that will go up. So going from a E5, which is a sergeant, with less than 2 years, which is possible. I've seen it. It's uncommon, but it's possible. That same sergeant at 4 years is going to make $3,802 a month. A corporal at 4 years is going to make $3,524 a month. An E3 at 4 years, I'm not going to say that. That shouldn't even be a thing. So I'll go to 3 years, okay? An E3 at 3 years is making $3,081 a month, which that's huge. That's crazy. That is crazy right there. But I'm for it. I think it's a good thing. An E2, we'll start at 2 years because you shouldn't be an E2 after 2 years. An E2 at 2 years is making $2,600 a month. So that pay does not change. And E2 at 3 years is $2,600. E2 at 4 years, $2,600. So again, you're capped out at that $2,600. And the same for an E1. If you're an E1 at 4 years, you've messed up. Bad. You're getting paid the same across. So again, that is a huge pay increase across all junior ranks E5 and below. Now, E6 and above, right? We got a 4.5% pay increase back in January, which is nice. So did the officer side, and so did the warrant officer side too. So everyone got a blanket 4.5% pay increase back in January, but it's now that E5 and below for all branches, right? Every branch, this is a DoD thing, not just the Marine Corps, Army, Navy, and whatnot. We all got that in January, and E5 and below for all services got that additional 10% pay increase. So this is great. So if you were considering joining the military based off money, we just got another 10% raise, and I guarantee you, no civilian job you're working right now, those fast food, that retail, whatnot, I guarantee you they're not giving you a 10% raise. I can guarantee it. I worked at Target once upon a time, and I'm not even playing. This is a different time. So again, and it wasn't in California, so just things are different. I went from getting paid $7.25 an hour, base pay starting out, 7.25, which is nothing. Jack in the Box is paying 17-year-olds $20 an hour. So just there's a huge like difference. I got a pay raise. And I was like, oh great. Just guess how much my pay raise was. Guess. I'm gonna take a second. Just drop your comment below. Drop your comment what you think my pay raise was. If you said $1, I wish. If you said $2, that's crazy. If you said 50 cents, I would be happy. I got a 10-cent raise an hour. I work 8 hours, I made an extra 80 cents. 80 cents. That was, I couldn't even buy a Red Bull with the amount of hours I worked and additional pay I got made. But they made it seem like the biggest deal ever. So again, perspective, appreciation goes a long way. But again, for those who are joining the military, man, hey, this is great. Enjoy it. You didn't get overpaid. This is great. You guys earned it. You guys deserve it. Military is a tough life. It's a hard life. So all the extra pay, entitlements, and things that we get, they're warranted all day, every day. I'm for it. So again, share this with your friends, share this with someone who was considering joining, share this with someone who, needs to know what we're getting paid now in April 2025. So if you look at the original pay chart, it's different now. Everyone got at least a $200 a month pay increase, which is a car payment. Hey man, that extra pay increase, that pays for a car right now, which is great. That means more money saved, more money to put away into things such as your TSP, which I'll make a video on next time talking about. But again, you guys are in a good position, and that's your 14.5% pay increase. So until next time, guys, drop a like down below, share this with somebody who you feel needs to know this, and enjoy your pay increases. And hey, buy me a coffee if you want, because it's always a good thing.